Hey everyone, I want to welcome you to this TGIF September 5th, 2014 DVD update. Let me get some light in here, a little bit of light. There we go. Get a little bit of light because I don't want to turn on the lights and waste energy, as my mom would say. So anyway, again, welcome to this TGIF September 5th, 2014 DVD and Blu-ray update. First of all, I want to say that I did have a DVD originally planned to show as part of this that I was converting since this morning. I downloaded through a torrent and was converting since this morning. And unfortunately, it did not convert very quickly, and it froze. Yeah, the computer basically froze when trying to convert this file. You see, this file with this movie was basically an MKV file, and for anybody that's tried to burn MKV files on Windows DVD Maker, it is not possible. And even if it is, it does not come out very well. But yeah, I couldn't do it. Could not make it happen. So I had to basically reboot the computer and start over again. And hopefully, maybe when I do another DVD update, I'll be able to physically show you the DVD itself. Now, you're probably wondering what movie I'm talking about, what DVD was going to be shown as part of the DVD portion. It was going to be The Congress, the 2013-2014 live-action animated film starring Robin Wright as herself. And basically, for anybody that knows the premise or has seen this movie, it's one of those movies that really you got to just sit back and watch several times to take in and kind of understand where they're going with the story. But basically, the premise, not to give much away, it all deals with the fact that Robin wants to, it basically deals with Robin trying to find her son and everything, but it also deals with the fact that, and again, you have to watch the movie, basically deals with the fact of how this animated world comes into play. Basically, people, we all get older, we all age and everything, we're not young. So basically what this portion of the film is, and again, if you've watched it, maybe you can give me a better idea of it. If not, you can look it up. But basically, you have this thing called the Congress, or whatever it is. It's a machine that basically, it's kind of like almost a real-life scanner machine. And it basically scans everything about you. Scans your body, scans your mind, everything. Personality, your brainwaves, everything, I guess. Basically scans you into an animated world. And in this animated world, basically, all you have to do, basically, you're kind of like in this you become an animated avatar of yourself. And you're inserted into this animated world, where basically, by drinking some kind of vial or something like that, some kind of vial, that you can become anything that you want to be. You can become anyone or anything. And there's a part in the movie that kind of gives that. There's several parts in the animated portion of the movie that give an example of that. So it looks very interesting. It looks very interesting, very trippy, if you will. But according to the critics, it is one of the best films, independent-wise and international-wise, that they have seen in a while. It is basically a film that, may take you by surprise, make you kind of question, like, what happened, what just occurred, what's going on here. It's one of those films, but it's definitely probably worth watching and definitely worth having in your collection. I will say this about the animated portion. The animated portion is definitely a combination of two animated styles. One, the the one animation style is the Hayao Miyazaki anime style. You know, his style basically of like Princess Mononoke, Kiki's Delivery Service, stuff like that. His most recent film that he did, which was his last one, yeah, it's basically a combination of Miyazaki's anime style combined with the classic animation style of like the 1920s and 30s, you know, of the 1920s and 30s, the Betty Boop style. So it's basically a combination of the Betty Boop animation style with, you know, the Miyazaki animation style. So, and it's definitely a good blend. It looks like a very good blending of both animation styles. It looks really, really good. And basically, the premise, like I said, is when the people become these animated avatars of themselves, all they have to do is drink some kind of vial, and I guess think about who or what they want to be, and they can become, I guess, a variety of things with the one dose of this vial. They can become, like I said, there's a clip in the movie that shows that they can become maybe somebody like the Greek god Zeus. They can become at the same, or if they want to change, they become a bull. Or you can become, if you're a female, you can become Cleopatra, or if you want to become the stars, you can become the stars or something. I don't really know. It's just one of those things that you have to, like I said, it's a movie that you have to sit back and probably watch a few times. But it's very, very good. It is very, very good. It's a very good animation style. Like I said, a blending the Hayao Miyazaki style and the 1920s, 30s Betty Boop style. Very, very good. Very, very well done. And it's definitely worth probably watching down the line. And I'm hoping to get a chance to do that. But when I try to get it finally converted and put it onto DVD down the line. So maybe when I do another DVD update, hopefully down the line, DVD Blu-ray update, I'll be able to show you physically, like I said earlier, that movie as well. Speaking of possible next future DVD updates, courtesy of some friends of mine here on Facebook, here on YouTube and on Facebook, the same people that are friends with Zara Nizarak and contributors to his collection as well as mine, might be sending some more DVDs my way in the near future. The reason I say that is because I was recently asked by one of them if I had certain volumes of certain shows, and I said no. So hopefully they'll be sending those my way in the near future as well. So keep an eye out for that. I know I'm going to be keeping an eye out on my mailbox for that as well. So anyway, with that said, let's get to the documentary. Not documentary, but let's get to the DVD update, shall we? I apologize if I seem a little out of it right now. I just woke up from a nap. I've been up most of the day. You'll hear this probably in my vlog that either you'll hear before or after this is up. Yeah. One of those weeks, if you will. But anyway, let's get on with the DVD Blu-ray update. Let's start with the DVD portion. And I guess I was kind of let it slip talking about documentaries. This first one is a documentary that was done by fans and by some people on the inside of the wrestling business. This is a documentary that took years to make and create. And the reason for that is they had to gather all these different interviews and video footage and fan cam footage courtesy of RF video and stuff. And well, the end result to me is probably one of the better documentaries they have out there. It was actually one of the wrestling documentaries that was shown theatrically, believe it or not worldwide or country-wide or anything like that, but just in a few select cities here and there. But it was shown theatrically, and of course I'm talking about Barbed Wire City The Unauthorized Story of Extreme Championship Wrestling. Now again, this is a documentary that was done by fans and along with the help of those inside the business as well. It has a ton of interviews with people that were part of ECW, whether they were behind the scenes people that worked for Paul Heyman, whether they were on camera, talent, whatever. They have the interviews. They also have interviews with some ECW alumni that are no longer with us, like the Public Enemy, if you can believe that. So, very, very well done in that department. And they do kind of go back to the present at the time this documentary was completed and being ready to be put together to be shown, like I said, theatrically in limited areas, as well as sent directly to DVD and digital HD, and I'm assuming Blu-ray, I'm not really sure yet. They did all that, and like I said, they go back to present day, which was at this time, April 2012, when I guess they finished filming, and that was around the time that Shane Douglas had put together the Extreme Pro Reunion, basically another ECW reunion show. In this case, and I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, how many ECW reunion shows do they need to have? How many? Well, basically, it all depends. Sometimes an ECW reunion show is allowing guys that, let's say, performed on One Night Stand or performed at November to Remember or Hardcore Justice. It allows them to reunite with those that didn't go to any one of these and reunite and probably wrestle against them for the first time in ages. So that's what sometimes these ECW reunion shows are. But yeah, this is very, very well done. It docks in at basically, I think, 117 minutes. So that's not bad. There is another portion of the torrent. Yes, I got this from a torrent that I have to get onto DVD down the line. That is the extras. And what I plan to do is get like a little slipcase and put it in here with the DVD that's going to have the extras. So I'm looking forward to getting the extras portion of this, and like I say, putting it in a slipcase and putting it right here. So, but if you're a wrestling fan, especially an ECW fan, I do recommend getting this in your collection somehow. It's really worth having. Now, another addition to my collection is something that recently made the rounds around the country and as well as in Canada. We're seen at several theaters, not just independent, festival-like theaters or anything, but shown in major theaters, even for one night, or even the weekend. Or even just for the weekend, was shown across the street from San Diego Comic-Con, was shown in major cities, was shown actually here in the Bay Area in San Francisco. I'm assuming was shown maybe in Modesto, I don't know yet. If it was shown in Modesto, maybe even Turlock, I don't know yet. If it was, I really wish I would have gone and saw it. But it's got a huge positive response from a lot of people. Yes, there are some critics that feel as though it's not that good, but there's a lot more positive reviews and thumbs up from people, including critics, than negative. And it recently got a digital release this past Tuesday, which you can see on Vimeo.com. And obviously a lot of people have done that. They have purchased it off Vimeo. But because of that, they've also, after they've purchased and downloaded it off Vimeo, have also now uploaded it through torrents, which is where I got mine. Because, I was, like anybody, I was curious. Did they put it on a torrent already? And lo and behold, it didn't even take that long for people to put it on a torrent. I'd say it took them maybe not even a day And that's the 1-800 service. They keep calling every hour. I don't know why. But like I said, didn't even take those that purchased and downloaded this movie off Vimeo.com, not even a day, if a day at all, to put this on a torrent, upload this on a torrent, thus allowing everybody else a chance to get it as well. Now, do not worry, I do plan to buy the Blu-ray when it comes out. I do, because, well, I don't have a DVD, recorder drive, or a DVD burner drive. I mean, I do, I'm sorry, like I said earlier, I just woke up from a nap, so I apologize. But like I said, I don't have a Blu-ray Blu-ray disc burner drive on my computer, internally or externally. I do not have a Blu-ray version, but I do have a DVD, so that's how I got it. And I do, like I say, plan to get the Blu-ray when it comes out. And what am I talking about? How about none other than, yep, Angry Video Game Nerd, the movie. And from what I have seen so far, I have not seen the whole thing yet, but from what I've seen so far, it looks really good. You can tell that James Wolfe put a lot of heart into this. You can tell that the fans really put a lot of effort into donating and helping him get this off the ground. It's just really funny in some parts already. I mean, it's right at the beginning when they start off at the beginning. I don't want to give much away for anybody that has not yet seen it. But the way they started off with one of the main characters in the movie, and how she kind of presents the idea of doing a sequel to the worst video game of all time, the reaction that the people she's presenting this idea to, they're like, wait a minute, you want to make it what? You want us to make what? And you want to make it like what? It's like, it's really amazing. And, and you could definitely tell fans became part of this, because I don't know if some of the fans that were thrown in, that had a lot of the video submissions and portions of the movie, I don't know if those were just acting or legit. I'm pretty sure most of them were legit, but you could tell some of them were kind of acting, because everybody kept asking, what about this? What about reviewing this game? The game? Why not review that game? Why haven't you reviewed it? You can probably tell some of those are acting, if not legit. So it is pretty cool, really pretty cool, and I like how they went with it. They went with it. I mean, just the fact that you have, James here, his character, the nerd, basically very reluctant of saying, no, I am not going to do this, man. I am not going to review that game. It's that bad. And how he's basically looked at it as, the one guy that's saying, the one, and basically how he's looked at as, he's trying to warn us about these bad games, but yet instead of warning us, he's encouraging us to buy these bad games just to see how bad they are. So, again, I haven't watched all of it, but from what I've seen, it looks really good. And from what I've seen through trailers and stuff like that, it's definitely good. And I would definitely highly recommend anybody that's an Angry Video Game Nerd fan, or if you're just getting into the nerd, if you're just want to see a good, funny, independent movie, sort of in the veins of Wayne's World, as a lot of people have said it's compared to, this is definitely worth getting. Definitely worth getting. And one thing that Doug Walker said, because he reviewed the movie, was he loved the fact that James did what he did as far as the effects went, like with the monsters and all that. That instead of, oh, it's a CGI monster, no, it's legitimately somebody in a suit. So, but yeah, that's, again, I gotta watch the rest of it, probably watch it this weekend before I go to, maybe tonight, and maybe before I go to work tomorrow night. But it's really good. It's really, really good from what I've seen, just the small portion of it. And it's like I said, it's definitely worth a watch if you you're a fan of James, Angry Video Game Nerd character, if you're just becoming a fan, or you just want to watch a good, comedy, if you will, this is definitely worth watching. Yes, you're probably wondering why I only have this for the cover. Unfortunately, they have not yet released the DVD cover yet, or nobody's made a mocked-up DVD cover yet for the movie, so this is the best way you're going to go. And to me, it's definitely worth it, and I will be watching it soon. From what I've seen, when I've played it on this HD TV already, it looks fantastic. The quality just looks great. Even if it's 720, it just looks really great. And definitely glad to have it as part of my collection. I'll probably talk about it more down the line in another video, audio, whatever. But definitely worth having in the collection. So it's in the DVD collection. Angry Video Game Nerd, the movie. And then, also recently added to the DVD collection is a movie that came out on Labor Day. And this is basically described by the network that aired the movie. It's the just aired version. So what does that mean? It means it's got commercials. It's still on demand, but now it's 30. Basically, now you have about, I'd say about 30 minutes cut down, because there won't be any commercials, and I'll probably be getting that soon. Probably getting that version instead. And of course, the movie I'm talking about is one that got talked about a lot. A lot of the alumni cast didn't want to watch it, didn't want no part of it, because they felt some of what was being talked about and described was fabricated. And of course, I'm talking about, the unauthorized story of the unauthorized Saved by the Bell story. Now, I haven't watched all of it, but from what I've seen clips-wise, by just, looking through the recording, they do kind of focus on a lot of important moments and stuff, like the cancellation of Bliss, the near cancellation of when they first started, the graduation, the ending at graduation, all of that gets just talked about and stuff, so it's definitely worth a watch. I mean, I know some people might criticize it and say it's not that good. It's basically taking a page out of Saved by the Bell. And what I mean is basically they have the Dustin Diamond, the guy that plays Dustin Diamond in here, that provides the narration off camera and on camera, doing the classic Saved by the Bell time in, time out scenario. So, some people might feel that kind of takes away from the film, but it looks alright. I mean, honestly, I used to watch and still do at times when there's nothing else on, or I just feel like just relaxing. I do watch Saved by the Bell. I mean, there's nothing really wrong with the show. I mean, I've watched it even when I went to high school and stuff. So, yeah, there you go. And I still watch it because it brings back memories. But yeah, it's definitely worth a watch, and I would probably recommend it to anybody that's a Saved by the Bell fan. It may not be, as accurate as Dustin Diamond's book is. I mean, in fact, Dustin even said that he regretted some of what he said in the book, and he may have changed some things in the film that they were going to take from the book, and may have changed things around so they weren't so negative. But it is definitely worth a watch. I would recommend getting the now non-commercial version, which you can find on demand. So check it out. You might get a kick out of it, but it's part of the collection now, and it's the unauthorized Saved by the Bell story. Definitely worth having. Now, another one I got courtesy, of course, of torrents, because I knew it was out. I just didn't know if it was legitimately out or if it was later, but apparently it was, because I looked on YouTube and there were like some small 6-minute parts to the documentary. And it's a documentary that I think any fan should have because, as I say in my review, and hopefully you'll hear that before or after this, it is definitely a documentary that goes and shows you things you never knew about the franchise, never knew of how the franchise came to be, how the show, the original animated show came to be. You know, never knew what kind of problems they had behind the scenes with the 1990 movie and stuff like that. And of course, I'm talking about Turtle Power, the definitive history of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, like I say in my review, I'll say it here, this is not a true definitive version. I mean, if it was, they would talk about just about everything. And the only glimpse you got about with everything turtle related is the timelines, which I thought was really a smart move on their part. But they didn't talk about everything turtle related. And like I said in my review, hopefully they'll have an ultimate definitive version coming out real soon on DVD, digital HD, and Blu-ray. And that is one critical thing I will say. There is no Blu-ray version of this. None. But it's definitely a good documentary. Like I said, it gets you behind the scenes, kind of tells you stories of how the series came to be, how the characters originally, the idea for the characters originally oriented back in 1983 and not 1984, where they officially came to be, where they officially became known, that the original idea started in '83. So, definitely worth a good document, definitely worth a watch if you're a Turtle fan, definitely worth having in your collection as well. And I would highly recommend this to Zara Nizarak, to It's Frank, to Israel Decoy, anybody who's a Turtle fan. I highly recommend this documentary. Go out, get it, anywhere you can. It's worth having. Now, we've got some DVDs here, courtesy of DVD Fab, and some more will be coming courtesy of DVD Fab and Netflix. And of course, I'm talking about 2 volumes of a show that I was a fan of. I watched it. But I got these 2 particularly because they have a certain Mink character, if you know what I mean, starring in her own animated shorts. And of course, I'm talking about Animaniacs. And in my hand, I have Animaniacs Volume 3, Disc 1, courtesy of DVD Fab and Netflix. And on this disc is, and I say, and I even put it up right here, Meet Minerva, which apparently, through chronological wise, is the first Minerva Mink cartoon, but I think we all know otherwise, don't we? Chronologically or production wise, I think we all know otherwise. So that's on here. So that's Volume 1. And then here we have Volume 2, Disc 1. And on here we have Moon Over Minerva, that from a production standpoint was the second Minerva cartoon, but from a chronological standpoint